Hi, this is Dan Phillip with another episode of Workforce Wisdom. Today's topic, friction. I think we all have felt levels of friction in our lives, whether it's at home or at work. Well, sometimes you find yourself with more than one person and you're engaged in an activity, whether it's at work or it's at home or it's out in the community somewhere. Let's say it's in a grocery store. The kind of friction that I'm talking about as it relates to a relationship is perhaps I'm standing there at the cash register and the cashier is ringing up all my groceries at the register, and I see the name tag and say, "Hi Helen, how are you?" And that cliche conversation goes on for a little while, but she keeps ringing up the groceries, and the level of friction going on is still there until all the groceries are bagged up, and you say thank you, and she says have a nice day. Well, the second idea here with friction could be in a task that you're performing at work. You're alongside 8 people at a machine that produces 24 cookies per minute, and your team is to box and package those cookies as quickly as you can, of course, without eating any of those and dropping them to the floor. You want as little waste as possible. When your task is finished and your time card is punched for the day, that level of friction that existed in the task has now been put to bed until you come back to work tomorrow. Friction, we all know it. It's present in all of our surroundings wherever we go at some level if we're around people. This is a force that can act upon us or an object that would try to stop us to go in the direction that we're wanting to go or the direction that we're heading. For example, our car comes to a stop at the red light because of friction, and it's the friction between the brake pad and the brake disc. This friction slows the outer wheels to stop the vehicle. So when friction is applied, it starts an action or reaction, much like people. The greater the friction, the greater the result as far as the task is concerned. Friction is also present in human beings, our employees. It comes from the friction caused between each other, where perhaps we are looking for control or comfort, and the trust levels that we have in the people around us isn't very high, and so therefore we have a lot of friction there. When friction's hotter in a relationship, the lower or the worse the result we're going to get with the task that we are there to perform. Energy is required in both work and relationships, so when trust is low and is the main cause of friction among coworkers or in our relationships, then the amount of energy we put into dealing with the people involved means we're going to be less productive with the product or the service that we're providing people. So we need to really understand how to manage friction. So managers or coaches need to be able to know how to blend the two frictions in a way that will decrease relationship friction and increase work or task friction. There are 2 things I believe every manager or coach must be able to be. Not be able to do, but be able to be. They need to be trustworthy, and they need to be great communicators. Trustworthiness comes from having an integrity of character with good intentions and great capabilities with good results or track record, wrapped in a desire to understand and learn from those to whom they're leading. And as a leader, they need to be more of an adaptive leader where they ask questions and they're open to most things. They're not so dogmatic. Great communicators come from a desire to advance the team and understand all the members of that team, listen for learning, to be influential, and knowing the potential of each and every one of the team members is vitally important while applying wisdom and understanding to every situation. So the next time you think the problem is people just don't want to work, you just might want to look at the friction and learn how to reduce the relationship friction before you have another fire to put out rather than a quality product or service. Thank you.